Broadband in Pennsylvania is a very important issue. And COVID-19 and the pandemic, in my view, has brought to light the issues that we have in broadband, not just in rural Pennsylvania, but even here in cities like Philadelphia. Now, Maryam, you're a teacher, so tell us a little bit about what you do and how broadband affects your life every day.
As a teacher, I teach fifth grade as well as digital arts. So with that being virtual more so now than ever, it gives some benefits as well as some challenges. The benefits are attendance for my class is up. I have a lot more parent participation. However, if by chance the broadband isn't strong enough, I do lose some children. So that can be the bigger of challenges. If anything, they'll lose connection in the middle of a lesson, and I don't record my lessons, so that can be a challenge. I like to teach live. I don't want to give them an AI teacher more so.
Mhm.
Being a computer person myself, very computer literate, it's important to me that I become personalized with my students. But if they lose internet connection, they lose a piece of their knowledge base. Yes.
So, how many students would you say often lose their internet connection?
In my class, I have a class of 19 students. At least maybe 6 of them at times have lost their connection in the middle of a lesson. And a lot of the lessons that I do in full are in the morning when their minds are just cranking. And if they lose connection right at the pivotal moment, it's like, oh no. And their parents will text me like, we lost internet. I'm sorry, we'll be back on, we'll try. Some parents are even taking their children to their grandparents' house if they don't, because their grandparents might have a stronger connection in a different area of the city. So they are definitely trying, but broadband being stronger would definitely assist.
So whereabouts do you teach in Pennsylvania?
I teach at Lee Elementary School. It's
Mhm.
located in West Philly at 47th and Locust, and the digital arts is through University of Penn. They have a partnership with a lot of community schools in Philadelphia.
So these students are children in the city of Philadelphia.
Correct, yes.
Oftentimes when we talk about broadband, I think it's people believe it's just in rural Pennsylvania, but even here in the city of Philadelphia, we have issues with broadband and with young people being able to receive their education now because we're virtual in many places through broadband. So how does that affect children? Like, how do you help remediate that learning?
In Philadelphia, we have a amount of teaching hours. I think I give them a little more than what is X. I do call my parents a lot to tell them where they are, what their students are missing, as well as University of Penn has their students in as tutors. So that helps if they bridge that gap a lot for their educational components. With all those different, I guess, offers, I don't want to call it overwhelming, but it can be a lot more of a journey um, to bridge that gap for the students when you're given additional time. But it's necessary. These are our future politicians, doctors. They know all about you, and I talk to them all the time. So if they're my next doctor when I get older, or they're the next decision makers, it's important to me that they get their knowledge base as best as they can. So if I have to put additional hours in, I have.
So in our caucus, we put together this PA rescue plan. And a part of the PA rescue plan sets aside tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars for broadband throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. If you had the opportunity to talk to members of the House and the Senate about broadband and why it's important, what would you say to them?
I would say a lot of what I just said already. It would strengthen the students educationally. We went from a time where just not long ago there was a gigantic digital divide, and it seemed like we were doing step ladders from making sure there were cell phones and telephones in homes all across the board, and now more people have actual computers because of the pandemic. So the next step would making sure that they have these other components, the physical devices are there. It would be great to make sure that the internet signals are strong enough so that these devices can carry. Now more than ever, the whole world is on the web because of the coronavirus, and it would be great to be able to monopolize this opportunity by making sure that we have all the essential components in place. And internet is that essential component. Just Saturday, I also do web development. And I was with a potential customer, and his signal went out. He's over in 69th Street, and he does more so photography. But each time we tried to view his website, it would go out. And a lot of times you lose your track of thought. We only have 6 seconds to sell, only 6. And if I lose my 6 seconds to sell because of the internet, what do you think children are losing when it comes to education in 6 seconds? So
Listen, the truth is, in my view, the future is on the internet. And if we want to make sure that our children are prepared for the future, we have to make sure that internet is as essential as electricity, as essential as water. In my view, now we're getting to a place where internet is not a nice to have, it's a must have. And in order to do that, we must have broadband access throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us about the importance of broadband in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
you're welcome. Thank you for having me.